Yo, welcome to the video. So this is how I went from a broke, overworked janitor, getting left behind in this life, getting overlooked, to a 27K per month lead generation agency in just 8 months. The picture on the left is me at my old job. I was working as a janitor and I had some free time. I was just playing basketball in the gym. Hated my life. Felt like I was getting left behind. Had no real direction in my life. Until 1 year later, January 2023, I have time freedom, location freedom. I work when I want. I work how I want. And I'm at 27K per month. So everything started in high school. I was bad at school. I knew I didn't want to go to college like all the other people. I purposely did bad on tests. I would just fill out B, 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 turn it in, call it a day. No hope for my future, no real direction. And I knew I didn't want to be part of the rat race that everybody was being a part of. And I was just lost. So right out of high school, I knew I didn't want to go to college, so I took 2 gap years. In those 2 years, I worked 5+ different jobs, struggling to make meets end, barely being able to pay the bills, and I knew I just needed something different in my life, but I didn't know exactly what it was, right? Those 2 years of 50+ hour work weeks and barely being able to pay rent lit a fire in me that no one could put out. And you know what school teaches you? Go to school for 12 years, go to college for 200K, get a corporate job that pays 50K per year, live in debt for the rest of your life, retire at 60, die. I did not want that. I hated the rat race and I wanted to escape and get out. It made me realize what I needed to do. So I formed a lucky friendship. In March of 2022, I was working at a warehouse job at a college campus, working 12-hour days, 3 to 4 days a week. Killing my body, standing for 11 hours straight, could barely focus on other priorities in my life, relationships, church, anything. You name it, I was struggling and work was taking a toll on me. One day my roommates brought a kid from the college over that we lived on. Brought a kid from the college over to the apartment. The day I met him was the day my life changed forever. He introduced me to a whole other world. He showed me the business side of Twitter, where people were offering high income skills. Had no idea what the dude was talking about, and I thought really he was crazy. And I'm like, this is cap, must be cap, right? There's no way. But I started studying these skills daily, scrolling through Twitter, looking at all these high influencers. I would come home from a 12-hour shift, and for the next 4 hours, I would be scrolling Twitter and watching YouTube videos, buying courses, consuming everything I could. What I was looking into, I was studying web design, copywriting, SEO, ads, lead gen, etc. You name it, I was probably looking at it and studying it. I ultimately chose web design to start off. And web design was not fun. I struggled to get my first client. No one seemed to want a new landing page, especially paying for a new one. I was building free websites for my friends I knew, making websites for creators on Twitter, then offering it to them in exchange for a testimonial. Really no traction, nothing at all. I need something more sustainable, something more no-brainer, something that the market always needed, right? So I went back to the drawing board, scrolling Twitter, YouTube videos, free paid courses. I was stressing because I didn't think the agency lifestyle was made for me. I mean, all these offers, all these high income skills people were offering, I didn't know if I could make it. I didn't know if I could learn them. I needed to find an offer where the market will always need it. And that's exactly what I found. Lead gen. Started researching on Twitter and YouTube and was studying for hours on end. Learned enough to get started and didn't waste any time. So my first clients weren't even from cold email, but referrals. Don't really know how it happened. Had some good connections on Twitter. So I had 2 TikTok marketing agencies, and they were both offering like TikTok ads and TikTok creatives and creators, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to grow people's TikToks and make sales. Both on only commission and no setup fees. Probably the worst deal you could hop on, even in the beginning. But I had to do it. So I had months of not great results. We were booking 3 to 5 calls a month for each client, something that wasn't sustainable and they weren't really satisfied with. Both weren't satisfied with the results. With those calls even being qualified, they couldn't close because neither had closers. They were taking the calls themselves. I was wasting money, barely making $500 a month. So not a good situation. So the decision that changed my life. With no clear sight of even getting a salary with my current clients, I looked for mentorship/coaching opportunities because that's the way I am. I was always like that in school. I could never learn just sitting in a desk, but I needed to have one-on-ones with a teacher and so they could teach me. So I knew I needed to look for some opportunities. So this is where I met Levy, the CEO at AV, comes in. I was following him for a bit, and he was giving away so much free value on Twitter. that I couldn't really resist. We sometimes chat in the DMs, and I eventually got it out of him that he was launching a coaching program. So I knew what I needed to do. So with $2K left in my bank account, I quit my job and I joined Agency Velocity, a program that costed around $3K at the time. Levy luckily let me do three payments of $1,000 over 3 months. Thanks, bro. That really saved me. I had $2K left in my bank account, $1,000 left to my name, and some no good clients. I had to make this work. So I had to learn the basics. Levy brought me through the basics again, even though I already kind of knew some of it, which was very helpful at the time. I didn't know I really needed this knowledge. So niche, offer, landing page, VSL, we went through that together. Pushed through all of those in a week, and I was ready to launch my first campaigns. My first campaign changed my life. I booked 10 discovery calls in 2 weeks, closing five of the calls, a 50% close rate. And with 5 new clients signed on and ready to go, I had to deliver for them. So I had no results for the first month for any client. I started doubting myself to fulfill for my clients and started looking for ways to make even quick cash, courses, affiliates, etc., etc. Consultants call outreach for consulting. So I was honestly hopeless, but I kept my head down and kept testing and sending more emails, which is all you need to do in this game. And the screenshot on the bottom right, do you all think it's a good idea to do outreach for consultation calls, like to my followers and people who have bought my course, market research, blah, blah, blah. I was sounding stupid. I was desperate. 3,000 emails sent, 0 opportunities, 0 out of 255 replies. Campaigns were not doing good. Then something really clicked. I found what was missing in my outreach. I didn't have a product market fit offer. Blasting emails away to people who didn't need my client's offer. I started to relate my email copy directly to the people who I was contacting, something they needed and resonated with. Because of this, everything started working on its own. Bookings were ramping up. Campaign stats never looked better. Bank account was getting bigger. I made $12,000 in a month, while the previous month I made $900. You can see how I was struggling. There wasn't any secret method, just continuous testing and sending. Consistency always wins. And it was time to scale. I formed a case study and reached out to more clients and closed more prospects. Life was good. And it only got better. Wyatt the consultant. Back in October, when I closed those 5 clients, I just simply wanted to show my gratitude to Levy and Rob for the awesome program they were running. I guess I got ahead of myself and put myself to their level. Y'all, I love this group. Appreciate you two a lot. I'm with y'all for the long run. Maybe a coach in the future. After I sent it, I honestly thought it was the dumbest thing I could say to them. But when in reality, it was probably the most important message I've ever sent in my life. That message set me up to be where I am today. And there was a call that changed my life. On January 18th, Rob wanted to hop on a call. Rob just wanted to talk. Loner, I know. But this call would change my life. Like AV hasn't done that before. He offered me a consulting position inside Agency Velocity. And without a second thought, I accepted. I was officially a consultant in AV about 2 weeks later after this message. So my main focus is Agency Velocity. Agency Velocity is a consultation company where we help aspiring lead generation owners scale to 10K per month in 92 days or less. And I'm not the only success story here. We help Tony scale from 0 to 40K per month. We also helped Jack quit his 9-to-5 and go to Thailand for a couple months. We helped Daniel go from 0 to 20K per month in just 16 weeks. And we have many more. These are just weak results here. Again, another week's worth of wins. And we have a lot more where that came from. And if you're looking to get similar results, book a call with our team. Link in bio.